What's up guys, welcome to Herpes Simple. In today's video we're going to be discussing 5 facts most of you probably didn't know about everyone's favorite virus, the Herpes Simplex virus. So diving right in with fact number 1, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know this one, but I had to throw it in there anyway. Cold sores are in fact herpes. So if you have a cold sore, or let's say, maybe 15 years ago, you had one for a week, you never saw it again, doesn't matter, you still have the herpes simplex virus. Now, whether you actually have herpes is a whole different story. A lot of times people might get, like a zit on their mouth and freak out thinking that they got the herpes virus. So what you can do is, if you think you have a cold sore, you can go to your doctors, they'll run some tests and figure out what's going on. Fact number 2, can herpes kill you? Yes, it can. Herpes encephalitis is an infection of the brain due to the herpes simplex virus. Now, when this infection is left untreated, it is extremely deadly. Now, before you guys go freaking out, calling up your best friend who you know has herpes, telling them they're gonna die of herpes encephalitis, you need to know that is extremely rare. Only about 1 in 500,000 people get it per year. Those who are at an increased risk of getting this encephalitis include the immunocompromised, elderly, and newborns. Now you may be wondering, how the heck is a newborn going to get herpes? Well, if the mother during childbirth has an active herpes infection in her genitalia, she can actually transmit the virus to the baby during childbirth. Another scenario is, let's say you just had your baby and your Uncle John or Uncle Rob comes in. He's got a nice fresh cold sore on his face. Then he goes and gives a nice big smooch onto your baby. Just like that, the baby could potentially just have gotten infected with herpes, as silly as it sounds. Now, with that being said, if you do have a cold sore, please do not go kissing any babies. Now for my favorite fact, and some of you guys might want to take a seat for this one, about 60% of Americans have the herpes simplex virus 1. And just to recap, that's the one that gives you cold sores on the face. Now with genital herpes, it's estimated that about 20% of Americans have the virus. Now you're probably wondering, if all of these people have herpes, how come you don't see everyone walking around with cold sores? And the reason is that only about 20% of people with herpes go on to develop symptoms such as these cold sores. Most people can go their entire lives without having any symptoms at all. They don't even know that they have the virus. Fact number 4, there are 2 different types of herpes simplex virus. Herpes simplex virus 1 primarily affects the face, whereas herpes simplex virus 2, also known as genital herpes, primarily affects the genital region. Now I say primarily because it is possible for genital herpes to affect the face, and for the herpes that affects the face to affect down there. So for our last fact, fact number 5, unfortunately there are no cures right now for the herpes simplex virus. There are different treatment options to help prevent outbreaks, also to treat the symptoms. However, there is no definitive cure for the herpes simplex virus. And our last bonus fact, no, I do not have herpes. I created that thumbnail in Photoshop. So thanks for checking in, guys. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.